Oh, hi, Screen Junkies. It's me, Spencer, for Honest Trailer Commentaries. I'm here with Joe, my best friend, and Dan, my future wife.
Spencer is my best friend.
And Dan is my future wife. I love her.
I don't love you anymore.
No!
What are you doing, Dan? Spencer's my best friend.
Guys, if you didn't know by now, we're talking about The Room, which we just did an Honest Trailer of. This show, we're going to be watching The Room, giving you our behind-the-scenes look at what we really thought if it wasn't clear from the trailer. And we would normally be giving you some deleted scenes, but I think they all made everything.
Everything went in, yeah.
How can you not?
How could you not? All gold. And also, like, what is there to say about The Room, guys?
Which is why we haven't done an honest trailer up till now. The Disaster Artist is the reason we're doing this.
Yeah.
We've been talking about doing The Room for many, many years, but the question always came back around to, like, what do you say?
Well,
What do you say?
what do you say?
You
It's
kind of
new.
let The Room speak for itself.
That's
I
what we
think,
figured
is the
out, yeah.
answer. Is honest trailers is to present it honestly, and that movie is very upfront about what it is.
It's very honest movie.
I don't know. It's such an enigma. It's a paradox because the movie is so bold in its presentation, but I still don't know what the intent was behind it. Like the intent was Tommy Wiseau.
He's black comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it he's pretending he's in on it.
He says
these
it's a
days.
black comedy.
Yeah, well, yeah,
but
now
it
he
was
says he's in on
obviously
it.
not intended
Yeah.
to be a black comedy.
Yeah.
Which makes it sad. The reason why nothing he does works now is because now he tries to pretend like he's been trying to do funny things all along. Now it's just sad. Like, I don't know. Like,
I haven't been watching his post-Room
Hulu
filmography.
had his show Roommates on for a little while. I don't know if it still exists there anymore. So we watched like one, and it was just like, this is uncomfortable and sad.
I think it's gone from I think we're actually back around to inspiring.
Oh, we've got.
Yeah.
I
okay.
think we've come back around.
Okay.
He's got a James Franco movie coming out. Everybody loves his movie now. They know who he is.
That's true. I think that if The Disaster Artist is nominated for an Oscar and Tommy Wiseau is at the ceremony this year, we'll truly be living in the upside down.
Academy, please.
Yeah.
If The Disaster Artist is nominated for an Academy Award, I beg you to let Tommy Wiseau present an Oscar. It doesn't have to- it can be costume design,
Sound editing.
sound mixing.
Yeah.
I mean, who
No
better to
disrespect
give
to any
the
of those
sound mixing
categories.
award
Oh,
for
yeah.
no, no.
ADR and
Yeah.
dialogue than Tommy Wiseau?
He put so much work into trying to find out the difference between shooting on film and high def. He has to give cinematography, right?
That's true.
He
He's
has-
the only director that's ever shot a movie
Focus.
simultaneously on film and HD. Who's better qualified to give the cinematography?
That's a fact that
Oscar?
didn't
No
make it
one.
into, it's in The Disaster Artist, but it didn't make it into the Honest Trailer, is that he just, instead of, usually a production rents camera equipment and they rent digital or they rent film and then they shoot their movie and then they return it to the equipment place. Tommy Wiseau bought 2 complete sets.
Two.
Utah.
2 of like cinema quality film and digital cameras, set them up next to each other and shot the whole movie on both.
If you've never seen the behind the scenes of, there's a sequence of just the crew trying to build the rig so that this can happen, and they're all just like, what the? I guess this is gonna do it. Why are we doing this? And I just love like, this guy's like, what is the difference between film and HD? And it's like, I'm going to write a book and study it. And it's like, why? Why do you need to write a what? Like, everyone knows what?
I want to see. I'm assuming the version of The Room that we know is the film version.
Okay.
I want to see the other version that's the same but 6
From a
inches
slightly
to the left.
different angle.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, he like switches from shot
Does
to
he
shot.
intercut?
I think,
Of
yeah.
course he does.
Yeah.
Because what? Of course. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
For a second, I thought you were going to say The Room we know is the one that was released in theaters. I would like to see the Zack Snyder cut.
Oh, yeah,
True.
the ultimate edition. Yes.
But you watched all the behind the scenes. Were there any other nuggets you could glean from that?
I mean, he's a weirdo. Like, we know this, but like, he's truly like just a crazy person. Like, his auditions were all super weird. He would go and have them like outside. There's so much B-roll of him complaining about how many people they've had to fire and like introducing new people to the crew and hoping that they last a day. It's truly bonkers.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, shall we dive into the room?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
What a story, Joe.
Also, I think he voted for Trump. Just saying.
Can he vote?
I don't.
No one knows.
In a world where most movies are just okay, one film will be so bizarre, so upsetting, and so aggressively bad, the sheer amount of suck will collapse in on itself like a dying star and explode in a supernova of unintentional genius.
We rarely alter the clip,
Room.
but that was worth it. Yeah.
Tommy Wiseau stars in, writes, produces, and directs a film.
He also
that
has
puts the passion
pause
in
for a second.
Passion
He also
Project.
has 2 different vanity cards before
Yeah,
the
2
movie
vanity
starts. Like
cards.
TSW Productions, Tommy Wiseau Films.
And Greg Sestero is credited as the co-producer of the movie because he was.
Yeah.
Yep. Who plays Mark.
Yeah.
And wrote the book The Disaster Artist, which if you haven't read it, the movie's great. The book is better. It is just... It's insanity. I mean, there's things like the fact that they did that whole rooftop thing in a complete, almost 360-degree green screen, which was very noticeable and also very time-consuming. And then he visited one of Tommy's warehouses in San Francisco, which has a panoramic view of San Francisco, which is what he green screened into the movie. It's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. I keep waiting for Andy Kaufman to reveal that he had.
Oh, yeah. It could be like a Sacha Baron Cohen character or something.
And it's just been 15 years of this. Yeah.
All right. Let's keep going.
Financed by a rumored $6 million of his own mysterious fortune, and featuring 3 long minutes of his
What do you
own
think?
mysterious
Oh,
butt
God.
cheeks.
There it is.
He's a man with a singular vision, a unique personal style,
Yeah,
and a
there are a
powerful
lot of cargo
message
pants
to
in this
share
film.
with the world. Maybe it's okay to give
Big
up on your
cargo pants.
dreams.
How can they say this about me? I don't believe it. I show them.
Journey to B-roll of San Francisco.
So much
and
B-roll.
Meet Johnny, your everyday all-American Dracula.
You know, people don't have to
Roth's
say
theory
it.
that he is Dracula.
Yep.
They can feel it.
Sometimes his emotions run hot.
You are tearing me apart, Lisa!
Sometimes he's so cold it's like he forgets he's on camera.
Well,
But always finds time to laugh at the little
directing
things.
and he's
Anything
got a lot
for
of
my
hats.
princess.
Or laugh for no particular reason.
Do you think it's like a nervous tick?
Or
Yes.
laugh at things
Yeah.
you really shouldn't be laughing at.
One of them found out about it, beat her up so bad she ended up in a hospital on Guerrero Street.
Dude, what part of that is funny?
Now that
Experience a
broke
story
me.
That at its
Pause.
core is a
Collecting the laughs.
Okay.
That was my task.
Oh, yeah. Mark down every
minute.
laugh.
I marked down every laugh.
And every high. Oh,
and
hi.
every
Hi.
and I didn't know what life was anymore. By the end of the process, I really felt like Tommy Wiseau was sitting next to me, going, "Do you understand life? Do you?" Yeah. I'm a little different now. You guys might notice that I wasn't in SJU for about a week and a half. That's why I took time off. To just go run in a park and throw a football to myself. Because watching this movie so many times in a row broke me.
The great thing about this movie is that Tommy Wiseau obviously did, I have the Blu-ray, and if you read the description on the back of the Blu-ray, it's obvious even that he wrote that because it's written in Tommy Wiseau's what do you ever really know about life? One day your girlfriend is with you and the next day she's in bed with best friend. It's obvious that he even just wrote the description on the back of the, it's amazing.
You want it done right, man. You got to do it yourself. The real auteurs.
Yeah, and I'm sure you noticed, Joe, even on the special features on the Blu-ray begin and end with the Tommy Wiseau vanity card. So it's
Yes.
Tommy Wiseau Productions, Big Globe, special feature, Tommy Wiseau Productions, and it's for
TSW,
the
yeah.
trailer. The trailer for the movie on the Blu-ray starts with a Tommy Wiseau Productions card, trailer ends with a Tommy Wiseau. Everything is bookended by a Tommy Wiseau Productions card. It's amazing.
He paid for it.
He did.
Yeah. All right. Let's keep watching.
Continue.
Really simple love triangle where Johnny is engaged to Lisa, his wife of the future.
You're my future wife.
What?
This is your
It's a call out to the
future.
live
She's
screenings.
my future
Yeah.
wife.
But she doesn't love him,
I don't love Johnny anymore. I don't love him anymore. I don't love him anymore. But I don't love him.
so she sleeps with Mark, his best
Yeah, this movie's a
friend.
little bit like
Johnny's my
Groundhog
best
Day. It just
friend.
keeps
Johnny's
repeating
my
the
best
same
friend.
3 scenes over and over
Best
again with
I know.
his butt in
He's
between.
your best friend.
But set that aside, because the room has enough dangling plot threads to weave a blanket.
I love
Like
Claudette.
this endless, unexplained game of tuxedo football. Johnny's promotion at whatever his job is.
Something
These
with
two
money.
friends
Something,
who randomly
yeah.
appear and disappear throughout the movie. This drug deal that's never mentioned again.
Chris-R.
And the most casual eye of cancer of all time.
I got the results of the test back. I definitely have breast cancer.
You gonna react to that? No?
Can we
Okay,
pause for a
cool.
second? Like, I want to call out the room of the room that they're in.
Right.
It's so like cramped. It looks like a rental furniture storage shop with like deep red walls. It's just got some bad vibes.
Well, it's obviously built on a, an
Indian burial ground?
Yeah, that. And they shot this thing on the lot was the lot of the company that rented them the equipment or sold them the equipment, which is like, I'm sure it's functional for like commercial shoots and, but like not for a 3-month-long film shoot. So it's like all of the sets are obviously crammed into corners.
Yeah.
And the room itself is like, it looks like a sitcom set.
Right.
Which is
But
even
bad.
better because of what's happening in it.
But yeah, smaller and darker.
Yes, smaller,
and
darker.
filled with more furniture. It reminds me of the other ScreenJunkies studio. All right, let's keep going. It's true.
And they do multiple things. It's a multi-purpose room. Yeah.
Cool. Most movies cut straight to
that's
the
my
interesting
favorite
parts.
John Reed
but
in
the
recent
room
memory.
is not
Cool.
most
Cool.
movies,
Cool.
where if a man makes a tape,
Props
you
to
get to
John.
see him set up the equipment.
This is like a real cinema verite. Like it shows. It's so surreal, but it's also very real. Like if someone in a movie
If
does
two friends
this,
have lunch, you see what everyone in front
this
of
is
them
what
ordered.
happens.
This is my favorite.
Take some cheesecake and a coffee.
Okay, once you guys have a seat, we'll have that right out for you.
So one of our buddies in San Francisco,
how you
the
doing?
barista.
Yeah.
What would you
Yeah.
like?
Used to do sketch comedy together.
This is an editor. I know editors. I am one. This, I promise you, was included in the movie at the direct insistence of Tommy.
And if a man gives his fiancée flowers, you'll see exactly how that financial transaction went down.
Yes.
Spoiler alert, it was weird.
How much is it?
Just the best. So much. It's so dense. This is my Zapruder film. Like you could just do this frame by frame
All
forever.
right, let's.
Like
Can we roll
sex?
that back? Can we roll that back? Let's just watch that again.
Let's just experience it.
And this is only, for time. This is only about half of that scene. But I mean, just the amount of things that are happening in this scene. We can roll it from here.
Transaction went down. Spoiler alert, it was weird.
How much is it?
It'll be $18.
Here you go. Keep the change. Hi, doggy.
You're my favorite customer.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Do you like sex?
amount of
Well, not for
establishing that's
long,
being done in
because
that
you're about
shot,
to
in that
watch
scene.
an alien's approximation of human lovemaking,
that
where a
guy's
little man
fucking
playing
face.
a little boy tries to join a threesome.
Freeze the crowd.
These two randoms act like toddlers while they do it.
Arms up.
It takes you so long to
And Johnny does
realize
his
who
best to
Denny
penetrate
is
the
in
area
the movie.
around
Like if
Lisa's
they're
belly
his
button.
son or his.
I still have questions.
his neighbor.
Just close your eyes when the R&B comes on. Trust us.
A lot of R&B.
So enjoy this real-life version of Springtime for Hitler that's the pinnacle of so bad it's good filmmaking, spawning midnight movie screenings, Oscar-caliber films about its creation,
Favorite movie
and
of the year so
enduring
far.
mystery
It's a
of
great
who
movie.
Tommy Wiseau is, where he's from, where his money comes from, and how old he is. But some mysteries are probably
Now,
better
someone
left
figured this
unsolved.
out and he
We've
sued
seen the
them,
guy's
so
taint.
it never
I
came
don't
out,
need to know
right?
anymore.
In a book or a movie or something.
Documentary, yeah.
Starring football, spoon art, entrances and exits.
Oh, hey, guys.
I have to go now. Oh, hey, dear.
I've got to go.
Oh, hi, Mark.
We gotta go.
Oh, hi, Mark.
I have to go.
Oh, hi, Denny.
Again, it's hyper realistic.
hey,
Like
Lisa.
in
Hi, Betty,
real
how
life,
going?
people say
Oh, hi,
hello
dear.
and goodbye.
Gotta go.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Denny.
I gotta go.
Oh,
They just
hi,
didn't leave
Claudette.
it out of movies.
Don't worries.
Don't worry.
Don't worry.
Don't worry.
Don't worry.
Don't worry.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry
Don't
about
worry
it.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry
Don't
about
worry
Johnny.
about
He's
it.
just being a big baby.
Generalizing about women.
Women change
Big
their
part of the
minds
movie.
all the time.
You think girls like to cheat like guys do?
They never say what they mean.
and they always play games.
Sometimes they're just too smart. Sometimes they're flat out stupid. Other times they're just evil.
Falling for no reason.
This is the great. I think this is the great unsaid thing about The Room. Is like hidden beneath these layers of mystery and a wonder and humor is like the fact that Tommy Wiseau fairly plainly doesn't seem too fond of women.
Well, I think that it's
a testament to how many layers of other things are on this movie.
That's not I would take that side of the bet. But the other side is that this is like a personal revenge. It's like revenge porn on his on somebody. There was a Lisa in his life that he's getting back at by like, I'll show her. I'll make a movie where she's the bad one.
I make Hollywood movie.
Yeah, it's clearly like he's got a lot to say. I think he's making it broadly about women, but it seems like the Lisa in his life.
He had a Lisa.
Hurt him.
One of my favorite parts of The Disaster Artist is there's a scene where the cast is all, I don't know how true it is to life, but there's a scene where the cast is all around the table speculating about who Lisa
like, this
is.
Real, right?
And I don't want to say, but it's like, I think the final conclusion that they came up with, like in the audience, I was like, oh my God, they're right.
Yeah.
So
that was a good scene.
it may actually be broader than he's got a big problem with somebody.
Yeah, I promise you, whoever that Lisa is was someone who had no idea she was in any kind of relationship with Tommy Wiseau.
It was.
I promise you, she was a clerk at the Chinatown Walgreens in San Francisco. Who he was just like weirdly obsessed with.
She said I was her favorite customer, and then I see her taking money from someone else. I make Hollywood movie.
Yeah. I wonder if she's seen it. Anyways, let's keep going.
That's my favorite.
He doesn't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
Again, he does the same scene just over and over again in the movie.
Focus! And chicken?
Just a little chicken.
Did Arrested Development pull from this?
That's what I've always wondered.
Best is Mark looking at the camera.
Yeah, watch Mark
in the last.
Not Room, The Room. Very different.
Call back to our Room.
I like to think Lisa's mom isn't playing a character. She's just a lady who wandered in and started commenting on what she saw.
What are these characters doing here? How many people come in and out of this apartment every day? This is worse than Grand Central Station.
Good stuff.
Oh, so The Room.
That's The Room.
The Room.
It's nice.
Yeah. I was not thrilled when I found out Disaster Artist was coming out because that meant The Room was going to get big again.
Oh, come on, people! Because I think we live in a pretty insular, like film nerd community where everyone knows and has appreciated, then been sick of, then appreciated again. The Room, but let's share it with the world.
It should be shared. I know
everyone should see it.
There was just a time where I realized that owning The Room was like a much more low stakes Gypsy Curse of like Thinner, where like if you owned a copy, it meant that if you had people over, someone was gonna go, is that thing? And then everyone was going to talk about it until you all just ended up watching it. And then you were just...
It's tough because there's I was going to say there's a hump initially. But yes, there's literally the first 30 minutes have 3 hump scenes.
It looks like it's a porn.
It looks like, I was like, oh, the first time I saw it, it's a porn. I didn't know that. Because it's just him just thrusting away.
At whatever he can reach.
Yeah, wherever's at peen level is just getting the business. And then and it stops, and then he does it again, and then it stops, and then he does it again, and you're like, oh no, I don't know if I can get through this. But for whatever reason, it's really front loaded with the sex. I thought maybe he thought that
literally
would hook him.
He doesn't quite seem to get the mechanics of it.
Yeah.
No. Do you think success has made him happier or lonelier?
Oh, I don't think I think he loves it. I think he's really taken to it. He's embraced it.
Do you think like women like sort of, kind of try to pick up on him or whatever, and he's like, oh, this woman's into me, but then they're like, no, in my belly button, like you do in the movie, and he's like, oh no, like it makes him sad.
We're not gonna kink shame anyone on this show, Joe.
Yeah. No, not
if they like it in the belly button, they like it in the belly button.
No, I like higher.
Your other hole.
I think he transcends things like emotion and loneliness and rational thought.
Yeah.
He's
an enigma.
It does make me wonder what kind of movie other San Francisco famous crazy people would have made with $6 million. Because there's like a lot of them just work street performers.
The guy that dresses up like a bush and scares people.
Yeah, the world famous Bushman. Just a lot of weirdos in SF that could have made something interesting with $6 million.
Well, I will say, other than, I believe this is also set in San Francisco, or at least it's Northern California. A movie that is almost to The Room's level for me is Birdemic.
Yeah,
if you have not, Birdemic almost approaches Room level for me as far as like, this guy had a vision and he thought he was making the best movie of all time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's got just that innocence about it. Like, I think that bad movies, really bad ones, have it.
Yes, they're
like,
earnest.
They're like The Happening. Like M. Night Shyamalan thought he was making a great environmental eco horror movie.
Yeah.
But it ended up being, you know, a discussion about hot dogs and Mark Wahlberg talking to a tree and Zooey Deschanel being a mannequin. Mm-hmm. But you couldn't have made that movie if he tried. It's just, they just have to kind of happen. They're like, I don't know. They're like comets. They just, you just have to find them.
But I think in terms of those, like what sets The Room just a step above is the Tommy Wiseau enigma.
Yeah.
That because he is brilliant. Because I watched a ton of interviews, because I think my angle at first with this was I was like, I don't know what to say, because literally like the midnight screenings are a starring section.
Yeah.
What do we say? So I was like, maybe we just talk about the world around the room. So I was like watching a lot of interviews, and he's brilliant in that he never says anything. People are like, well, why'd you do this? And he's like, well, you know, an understanding about the world and people is how they look at each other, and sometimes there's a football and we all wear shoes. And you're like, what? Okay. And so, I think whether it's because if he answered questions honestly, he'd go to jail because this was all a money laundering thing, and or if he's just brilliant and knows that the less he says about himself, the more famous he'll stay.
That would explain like the 2 sets of camera equipment and everything. He's just trying to waste money to hide it.
Well, he said it's you know, like I know that in the book they're always like, he was like, Tommy, where'd you get your money? He's like, I sell coats.
Yeah,
I sell jackets. It's like,
that's
really?
what he told the AV Club. If you want more Tommy Wiseau stuff, there is a Tommy Wiseau character arc in his series of AV Club interviews where they start very friendly and the guy doing them, like they get along, and but then the deeper the guy tries to get with him, like those interviews end very poorly, where Tommy Wiseau's like screw you, and like storms away, and like that's it. It's really weird. But yeah, that's what he told them. He's like, I sell jackets, and they're like, $6 million worth of jackets, and he's like, yeah, that kind of thing. Next.
Yeah, he's in the Eastern European import-export business.
Yes, exactly.
However, that lends credence because, you know, they also, like Greg Sestero was like, I went to his apartment and there were indeed racks full of jackets. So maybe that's true. That's the enigma. It's like there's no definitive. Every time you think you find proof one way, you find something the other way.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to know. I'm in the camp of like, I don't want to know. I know that supposedly these people found out, and what I don't want to know.
I want all the answers to be put in a time capsule and uncovered in 100 years.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah. And then I want that answer to be a man found an old used Mission Impossible mask and just put it on his face.
Exactly.
Nice. All right, guys. Well, that was fun and bad and good and evil and all things, just like this episode of Honest Trailer Commentaries. We'll be back next week, me, Joe, Dan, for
a seasonal flair.
Or at least seasonal, but equally confusing and dark movie.
Yep.
Yes.
And we'll see you then.
I gotta go.
Bye.
Bye.